For quite some time, I've been thinking about sharing my thoughts regarding public education in the US. I've been working in public education for almost 20 years now, and I've seen, I've lived, and I've heard many things during this time, and not necessarily positive things. I was a teacher for many of these years, and even though I'm not in a classroom anymore, I'm still in contact with teachers every single day. I believe that teachers should be the main ingredient in the foundation of the educational system. I also believe that sadly, this is not happening anymore. In my honest opinion, teachers have become nothing more than simple pawns whose job is to comply with everyone else's requests. When I started teaching back in the 90s, at the beginning of every school year, I was given some basic tools, such as a binder with a pacing guide, a lesson plan book, and a whole bunch of trust. And I was able to use those tools to decide, and this is a key word, what was the best way to teach my own students. I was able to choose what math manipulatives I thought were appropriate, what book or what story I could use to teach a specific reading or writing concept, and what to put on my own classroom walls. Most teachers today are not allowed to do this anymore. Nowadays, teachers are expected to post very specific things on their walls, and not just one or two. They are expected to use the books that are handed down to them. They are expected to attend countless and many times useless meetings and training sessions. And when the school year ends, they are not even trusted anymore to decide what is best for their own students, because most of the time, someone else gets to decide what is going to happen to them next year. And so, this is how we got to where we are now. We have a cognitive skills and educational attainment score that makes the US rank 14th out of 40 countries according to a Pearson study done in 2015. We are ranked second in ignorance out of 14 countries according to another study. We were ranked 24th in literacy out of 65 educational systems back in 2015. Interestingly, we are ranked first place when it comes to sending people to jail. That's right, the US has the highest incarceration rate in the world. We are also first place when it comes to military expenditures. In 2015, we spent more than $600 billion in our armed forces, while China, second place, only spent a little over $200 billion, which is a third of what we spent. Do you want to know how much we spent in education? About $80 billion, or about 13% of what we spent in the military. That puts us in the 58th place when looking at how much of the country's GDP is used to educate our students. Countries like Cuba, Iceland, Kenya, Jordan, Bolivia, and Jamaica invest a larger percentage of their country's wealth in education than we do proportionally. So perhaps our critical state in education starts from the root itself. Perhaps we need to take a look at our priorities as a nation and relocate our resources in a different and more promising way. We cannot expect any real improvements when preparing our children for life is 7 times less important than preparing them for war.